Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today we're going to swap out this temporary light for a big 200 watt smart light. What we have here is a big Lumary, I believe that's Lumary, high bay 200 watt smart light with a motion sensor. Seems like a lot, but that's exactly what we need out there. Right now, this is kind of a representation of that area. The door I came through first is right here. Then I went through the shop door. At night, it's pitch black out there, and I want a light that's just going to go on when I open up the door. So when I pass through there at night, the light's going to go on and off by itself. But when I'm working out here, I have two other lights over here. I want this light to work with these lights and flood the place with light. This is a 200 watt light, and these are both 150 watt lights. So with all of them together, I'm going to have really good light out there. But normally, when I'm just passing through, this is a smart light, so I'll have it set down real low, just so it gives me enough light to go through there. I also have a workbench right here, and I'm going to have a workbench all along this wall and storage that goes up like 14 feet in the air. We need a good amount of light to see what we're doing out there. So when we are working out there, it's a smart light, so I can just turn it up or turn it down as needed. And the light that's there now and these two temporary lights, the cords are going to be wrapped up and kind of bundled, and we're going to have them over. There's like a workshop area over here that's going to be sealed off. The area above it, those are just going to hang up there until they're needed, but I'll be able to turn them on if I need light up in that area. We'll get to that on a different day. Today, let's open up this Lumary 200 watt smart light, and we have this as well. We need this hub to get it to work. So we're gonna have to get all this stuff installed, but there's not a whole lot to lights. So let's open this up and get it installed. Okay. We have the actual Lumary box. Lumary Smart UFO LED High Bay Light. And this is 200 watts. Yeah, generally I won't need that many watts or that many lumens. I forget what this is, lumens per watt, but most lights these days have pretty high lumens per watt. Okay, you got the book right here. I watched the video on Amazon, and I'll link to this below. The end image, well, let me show you that online, but the last image is actually the video, and they show you all this stuff. I'll just show you how I do it myself. Okay, so that's the user's manual, and again, I downloaded the app already. This is the hanging hook, remote control, and the hub. I believe that's what it's called. We'll find out in the instructions below. I know that you can't install this with the unit plugged in, so we'll make sure not to do that. And that's it. This is all solid aluminum. It's fairly heavy. It looks really cheap, but it sure as heck doesn't feel cheap. This is pretty heavy, which is nice. It's got all the information on it on this little tag right here. The model, the input voltage, wattage, the value, the Kelvin value, and this is 5000 K. I only get 5000 K lights because that's natural daylight. Otherwise it just seems way too blue or way too yellow, and I don't want that. Okay, I'm going to do something unusual and read the instructions real quick, but I believe I installed this right now. One thing to note here is without this, the light will still work, but it'll be at full power. It has a list of everything in the box, which everything is there. Oh, I like this. It shows you the different feet, how big the cone of light is. All right, let me get back to this. We had a little GoPro failure here. That little center part, you just push it in and turn it a little bit. Okay, take off the little protector. Whoa! That is bright. It's flashing because it wants to pair with the app. Let me see if I can do that right away. Should probably mention, but you have to screw in the hook, and then it has a set screw on that as well, which I have to loosen up to get it in. We'll get that done, and then it has a safety chain as well. We'll get that set up, and then we'll teach this how to be smart. Okay, now for this little mini hub. It's the Lumary Zigbee and BLE mesh mini hub. And what comes in the box is this adapter, the hub, and a short cord. It's going to have to go out here in the shop for now because we don't have electricity out there. So plug it in right there, and hopefully that's gonna work. Got two lights on. All right. Not exactly sure what's going on. Read the instructions again. Okay, let me get you caught up here. I was gonna wait until nighttime because there's so much light coming through that window that I didn't think you'd be able to see the light, but you certainly can. With those other two lights in there, it's going to be super bright in here. That is at 100%. This did not come with batteries, which sucks. They could at least put cheap batteries in there. Yeah, there's kind of a delay on this. That's 10%. Let's go with 50. And it shut off. Oh, there's 50. I don't know why it shut off like that. 100. 50. I don't want to point the camera right at it. Yeah, when you do 50, it shuts off and then goes to 50. That is unusual. And I believe it's doing it again with 10%. Don't know what's going on with that. All right, I had to go through a whole bunch of stuff to get Alexa on my phone. I did not have Alexa. All right, there's 10%. That is really odd that it completely turns off like that. All right. I still got to figure out the motion sensor. Well, we'll turn this off. Okay. And it turned back on. What the heck? Off. Oh, I'll bet the motion sensor turned it back on. I think that's what those green lights flashing are. Yeah, when I move my hand up, it turned on. Okay, it was working and I didn't know it. I got to get into the settings and set all that stuff, but first I got to connect with this, and it's been failing, but that might be because I didn't have the remote set up. See, we got it failed to add device. Add device. Add. Now it wants me to add the 5G network. I have both 5G and 2.4G networks. So if I type in the password for this, all right, I typed in the password, that's the 5G network. It gives me this list right here, and it says it cannot be added to the 5G network. I don't know what this is. And I've tried all the other ones. The 2.4 has got to be on here somewhere. All right, I installed this light yesterday, and it's working exactly like I wanted it to. I had a problem getting the hub to recognize it, and we'll go over that in a little bit. And when I installed this, we had light pouring in here, and it was hard to tell if it was working or not, because I would go in there and the second I came out, the light was on, but it was actually turning off. And as soon as I mess with the curtains, even a little bit, I tested it out. Let me turn the light on in here. Even just going like this, I can see through these little pinholes here. Even going like that will turn the light on out here. So I didn't know if the motion control was working or not, but it works very well. The light is set at 10% right now, and at 100, it is super bright. It's, again, hard to tell because it's a daytime. I'm going to show it at night right before I sign off. Put it back to 10. That's all I need. And the majority of the time, I come from the house at night. I'm working upstairs in my office, and I have to come out here to get a measurement. I do it almost every single night. And up until recently, I didn't have a switch here, but even with the switch, I've wanted something that was motion censored because I have stuff in my hands most of the time. So I open the door with one hand, have something else in the other hand, and I got to set it down, find a place to set it down, and then flip the switch. This way, the light just goes on. I can pass through, come into here, and then get my dimensions and stuff, and head back out. And if the light turned off, it'll turn back on. Perfect. And like I said, I'm going to have 2 other lights here, and those are going to be on a dimmer. So when I want huge amounts of light here, I can turn those all the way up, and I can turn this up with the app. Oh, let me tell you about the connection. I just installed this the day before I put these lights up. So this was trying to connect with this, and the problem is that this little hub was trying to connect at 5G. For some reason, it tries to connect with the most powerful source first, and if that's 5G, then it's 5G, and that's all that would show up in the app. What I had to do was just type in the password for the 5G, and then it would fail, but it would list all of the other networks it found. And unfortunately, there were 5 of them that were TP-Link. And I kept going through them and testing it out, and I couldn't get, well, I didn't get further than 3 or 4. It was actually the 5th one. So you actually have to go through signing into the 5G, have it fail, then it lists all the other ones, and then pick whatever one you think it is, because it does not show how many Gs the ones after that are. It shows TP-Link 5G, and then once that fails, it shows a list of other ones, and it doesn't show the Gs for them. It doesn't show 2.4G. Once I finally got that all figured out, I selected the right one and installed it, and then you have the little pencil icon. All that stuff is in the instructions, and it's in the instructions on Amazon. The pictures that are either below the main image or to the left of it, wherever it is, the very last one has 3 videos, and it was the first video, but out of their videos, they're going to show you exactly how to get this wired up. And another problem was that I did not have Alexa on my phone, so I had to go through a bunch of stuff to get Alexa installed on my phone. Now, Alexa is installed, and it's, let's see if we can do this. Alexa, turn light B1 to 50.
A couple things share that name. Lumary Smart High Bay Light B1 and Lumary Zigbee BLE Mesh Mini Hub A1.
The light.
Which one did you want?
The light.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the motion sensor. Now it's on full blast again. Alexa, turn. Alexa, Alexa, turn light. Alexa, turn light
okay.
Alexa, turn light B1 to 50.
A couple things share that name.
Yes.
Lumary Smart High Bay Light B1 and Lumary Zigbee BLE Mesh Mini Hub A1. Which one did you want?
That's a problem too. The having both of these working off the same thing. I am not going to use this Alexa very often. I'll use the app. Let's just get rid of that. And the Lumary. So my motion detection is on middle. In the video, it says that high is actually off. And it has to have off, and there's no off listed. So we'll set that at high. I do not know if it's working. I had it set up perfect. I had this at medium. I had the light intensity at 9 or 10. It doesn't go much lower than that. That is 10. So light intensity at 10, and I believe that's off, but we have it set at middle. Now, if I leave, this is going to go off. So this particular light is the Lumary Smart UFO LED High Bay Light. It's 200 watts and 32,000 lumens, and it's IP65, which means you can mount this outdoors or within light spray, like if you have a car wash or something and it gets sprayed once in a while. You can't put it underwater, but for the most part, it's waterproof. So that's going to wrap up the review of the Lumary 200 watt light. I have a couple more reviews coming up. One of the lights for the center, and then we have just plain old videos of me mounting my temporary lighting. I'm going to mount them, and we'll be using them here and there while they're just sitting there. It's a pretty interesting idea, and I'll let you know what it's all about in that video. So if you want to see that video or any of the other videos I'm working on, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.